everybody, it's Lauren and welcome to my February book haul. This month I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I bought all my books from either charity or independent shops in York. So let's begin. The first book I bought this month was from Oxfam Books and it cost me just £2.99, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I'm ashamed that I haven't read this book already. I've been meaning to for years and just never got round to it. It's set in World War II and I believe it follows the story of a girl called Liesl who is orphaned by the war and she becomes a book thief. For me, the most intriguing thing about this book is the fact that it is told by death. What more do you need to know than that? Let's be honest. I've also just realised that this book is full of illustrations and I'm not sure if they're supposed to be Liesls or deaths, but let's find out. This next book is the only book I bought that wasn't second-hand, but I did buy it from a little independent bookstore in York called Little Apple Bookshop, and it's just a gorgeous shop. Please visit it if you can. And it is How the Marquis Got His Coat Back by Neil Gaiman. And I fell prey to buying something by Neil Gaiman that I hadn't read, just because it was by Neil Gaiman and I hadn't read it. And I did look at what it was about, and it turns out it's a short story based on his novel Neverwhere, which, yet again, I haven't read. So this is one that I will save. This next book came from another second-hand bookshop in York, and it's still wrapped in the brown paper packaging that they put on for me, which is really cute. I think the bookshop is called Spellmans of York, and when you go inside it's like the most stereotypical little bookshop off the beaten track you can imagine, and it's just beautiful. Please go. Here's your unboxing segment of the video. The book I bought is The Giant O'Brien by Hilary Mantel. I'm assuming you've heard of Hilary Mantel because she wrote the novel Wolf Hall, which the big BBC series was based on, but this is one of her smaller books, so it's much less intimidating and I'm much more likely to actually give it a go. I believe it follows the story of a giant called O'Brien who comes from Ireland to London as a poet. The only problem with that is it's set during a time where people want to experiment for medicine and a lot of doctors would like to have his body to use for experiments. But the problem is he's still living in it. So I believe they try and have him accused of a murder he didn't commit so he will be hanged and they can have his body. But I'm not entirely sure, but that sounds like a really interesting plot to me and I can't wait to give this a go. The next book I have is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This is a bind-up because it also contains Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. It has some gorgeous illustrations as well, which are done by Jan Neal, and I picked this up for just £1 at a little charity shop in York, and I cannot wait to read this. Next up I have 3 books of a 4-book series to show you, and I bought these because they were 50p a piece in a charity shop and they're in good condition. And those books are the prequel, Book 2 and Book 3 of the Maze Runner series by James Deschner. I don't mind not having the Maze Runner book because I saw the film last year and these are just to go on my shelf, and when I get round to them I'll get round to them and that's when I'll buy the Maze Runner. To end the month I kind of cheated a little bit and I bought 2 used books from Amazon, and the first of those books is The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. Gillian by this person. I read this pretty quickly, it's only 60 pages long, but I will do a full review in my wrap-up of this month. Essentially it follows a con artist who gets sucked into her own lies and starts believing somebody else's. And if you're not sure whether you want to read this book, I suggest reading the first page and a half on Amazon before you go for it, and that will give you an idea of the tone of this book, because it is filthy but it is hilarious too. It is definitely not a YA read, it's for adults. Finally, it's a book I've had my eye on for a while. It was a bestseller of last year and I wanted to read it for ages, and it is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I believe it follows the story of a young girl who is married and moves into the townhouse in Amsterdam of her new husband, and as a gift she is giving a miniature version of their home, and the miniaturist who creates all the furniture starts to have an effect on their lives and she begins to believe everything that happens is down to him and his craft. This book has got the gorgeous blue edges on the pages and they are just beautiful, and it's set in Amsterdam, and as you know I went to Amsterdam last month and I absolutely adored it, so anything Amsterdam is definitely going on my TBR. For a while I've been thinking about listening to some audiobooks, and Brian over at Brian Kennedy finally convinced me to give it a go, so I acquired quite a few audiobooks from my local library, and those audiobooks are Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin L. Sanez. I also picked up The Night Circus by Erin Morganson, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, The Golem and the Genie by Helen Vecker, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, and Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. So that's everything I have for you for February, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys!